and that's why we've been slow in passing this legislation.
Jonathan Young.
Thank you, sir.
I think there's a part of this bill which we tend to gloss over, but I think it's very, very important, particularly for the businesses that are going to be the ones on the front line to empower this legislation. It was estimated that the cost of compliance over 10 years was going to be $1.6 billion. Working with the different companies and people in the private sector in particular, refining the options to help them meet their obligations, we have significantly reduced the predicted compliance costs from that estimated initial $1.6 billion over 10 years to have now lowered it to $800 million to $1.1 billion. But that's an astoundingly high figure. And I think this is, I bring this to the fore to perhaps say to New Zealanders who might be listening in to this debate, although at 5:10 on a Thursday afternoon there may not be many.
Order. Member will address the House.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Don't encourage him.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker, for your guidance. But by and large, New Zealanders will not notice the effect of this legislation in their everyday life, but behind the scenes, there will be a tremendous level of surveillance taking place regarding transactions that come from suspicious activities. And the point I'm making is the incredible cost and expense to ensure that New Zealand is a safe and credible society. And I don't think we should just ignore that, because we know that the cost of safety and certainty and security in our country is a very important thing. And what we will see is that there will be businesses who will absorb those costs. And going back to what the previous speaker said, why has this taken this length of time to bring through an institute? It's because we want to do it in an efficient and a practical and effective way, but we do not want to load down our businesses with huge compliance costs. We want to find efficient ways in which they can continue to make our society safe from money laundering. And if we don't make it safe from money laundering, it's not just reputation that we have to worry about. It's actually criminal activity that we have to worry about. So making this place safe, this New Zealand society and economy safe, is very expensive. We need to do it effectively, efficiently, but we need to do it in a cost-effective way. Sometimes that takes just a little bit longer than slapping down a $1.6 billion bill over 10 years. Working with the sector is incredibly important. And also working with them so that they can bring these provisions in a appropriate and a timely way as they absorb the demand and the burden of this, and do it in such a way as they can do it effectively, to develop risk assessment programs, put in place procedures and controls and train staff, all of these things. So I think it's important for us to just realise that behind all of this legislation, all of this good thinking, all the thinking behind this that parties across this House agree with and support, that we also have banks, financial institutions, and now we reach back even further into businesses, real estate agencies, accountants, lawyers, betting on sports and racing, and all of those activities, and ask them to be part of this safety net to keep New Zealand safe. And let's just acknowledge that. Thank you, sir.
Barry Coates.
I rise to speak at the final reading of the